Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so I hope everybody's been doing okay. I hope y'all been doing good. I just want to share a prophetic dream with you guys. It's a little lengthy, so I'm gonna jump right in there, okay? So, this dream God actually gave me on May the 14th. He gave me the stream on May the 14th, but he had me wait to share it. So, but now he just told me it was okay to share it now. Um, Anyways, getting right in there, the title he gave me for this dream is, and I'm looking at my notebook, y'all, if y'all see me looking down. So, the title of this dream he gave me is Things Are About to Escalate. Do you know who you are? And so when he broke this dream down for me, I was like, okay, wow, wow. So it's four sections in this dream. This dream is broken off into four sections. So I'm gonna tell you what happened in each section and then explain to you what God showed me in each section. Okay. So in the first section of the dream, I'm I'm standing outside, in the street, but kind of close to the sidewalk on the right side of the street, and I'm staring at this house. And at this particular house, I know I left something there that I need to pick up. The last time I was there, I guess, I don't know, I left something at this house and I need to get it. And I'm staring at this house and I'm thinking, I'm about to go get what I left over there. And then it hits me, I check my time and it's like, it's too early. It's too early for me to go get what I left over there. It would be rude of me to knock on their door that early in the morning, right? This is what I'm thinking in the dream. So I check my time. It's way too early in the morning to be knocking on somebody's door. And so I said, okay, well, it's other things I need to go take care of. So I'll go take care of those things first and, let a couple hours go by. And then I'll come back and go knock on their door and get that item I left. By then enough time would have went by and I won't be being rude by knocking on their door way too early, right? So anyways, that's the first section of this dream. Now, what God showed me here was the place that I wanted to go retrieve something I left from. He showed me that was the enemy, okay? And how he showed me that was the enemy, I'm gonna try to go through this real quick. How he showed me that was the enemy's place was because as I approached the house and I was staring at it, I was standing on how you have your neighborhoods, you have your street, you got houses over here, houses over there. I was standing near the right side, looking at the left side, and I couldn't even tell you the name of the person's house I left my item at. I couldn't even tell you their name. That was the crazy part. But when I went in a dream, I said, "Oh, that's Diane's house. That's where Diane lives." I referred to the house on the right side. I knew the person who lived in the house on the right side. And a funny thing though is I refer to them as Diane. I never call that person that name. I never call them by their first name. I always call them by Mrs. and their last name. When I see them, I say, "Hey, Miss," and her last name. I always refer to her by her last name. I have never a day in my life called her by her first name. So that stood out to me. And I was like, "Dad, why am I calling her that in a dream? I don't, that's not what I call her when I see her." And so that made me look up her name, and her name means divine. It means heavenly. So that's how God showed me that the house that I needed to retrieve something from was the enemy's, because it was directly across from the divine. Very directly across. God is amazing. And he also did me a favor, which I greatly appreciated, because this particular woman, this particular lady, she had just passed. Right before I had this dream, she had just passed. About a couple of weeks before, and it was a little hard for me because I knew her growing up, and I was sad about it, and God knew how I felt about it. But then I think I was really bothered because I couldn't go to her funeral, and that God knew I was really disappointed that I couldn't go to her funeral because I really wanted to go and I wasn't able to. And so in that part, he showed me that she was with him too. So that was just, God is amazing. I love when he does stuff like that. So he showed me that she was with him. She was fine. And so anyways, that was the first scene of the dream, right? All right. So then we're leaving. And well, I'm leaving. I'm walking off to go get some other things done. And I'm going to come back and get my stuff later because it's too early to knock on their door and take my stuff. So as I'm leaving, I see myself walking. I'm walking down the road away from the house, and somebody that I knew that I haven't seen in a minute, he came out of nowhere, and he wanted to go with me. So he offered to go with me to go take care of the things I needed to do. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then it's just me and him walking off down the street. Then the dream changes, right? And it jumps. And the next scene of the dream, all of a sudden, I'm facing 3 escalators, right? And I guess some way, somehow, I did what I was supposed to do in the place that I was now standing in. And now it was time for me to go, go back, home. And so I'm standing in front of 3 escalators, and I just have a knowing that all 3 escalators come up, but only one of them goes down, right? And there's no other way to exit the place that I'm in. The only exit is down. There's nothing higher than it. There's no other place to exit it but to go down. So, and like I said, it's 3 escalators. All 3 come up. Only one goes down. That's the middle one. And so I know this. So I got whatever I came there for, and the guy came with me, the one who met me in the first scene. He's with me. And now we're about to leave. So we go to the middle escalator because that's the only one that goes down. And before we can get on there, 3 people, every time I try to get on the escalator, somebody's coming up it, because this was the unique thing about this middle escalator. Like I said, all 3 comes up, only one goes down, but the middle one will go both ways. And so every time I was trying to get on the escalator, somebody was coming off of it. So 3 people got off the escalator before I finally just jumped on there for us to leave, right? And God has been really dealing with me with 3s. He's been showing me 3s and 2s a lot in my dream, a lot. And so, but for me, after the 3rd person, I'm getting on here, because people weren't going to stop coming up. People were consistently coming up that escalator. So I had to take my position for me to get on there, right? That's important. I had to take my position. They weren't going to wait for me. I had to take it. And so, anyways, so I take my position on the escalator. Y'all, I am low-key nervous when it comes to escalators. And escalators low-key scare me. I get really still, oh God, I don't know if I've seen too many cartoons growing up or what, but escalators low-key make me nervous. And so I'm on the escalator, and I see that I have a bike. I'm leaving the place I was in carrying a bike, and it's kind of heavy, and I'm already nervous because I'm on the escalator. And the guy who's with me, he's like, let me carry the bike. He wants to carry the bike for me. And because of how I'm wired, and because Jesus is working on me, I'm used to doing things for myself a lot. I'm used to it's hard for me to ask for help. And so I'm used to carrying the load myself a lot. I'm used to, I got it. So I'm used to doing that a lot for myself. And so the Holy Spirit had to tell me, let him carry it. Because I was going to tell him, no, I got it. And the Holy Spirit told me, let him carry it. So I let the guy carry the bike. I mean, he's a man. He's stronger than me. So anyways, he's carrying the bike for me. And that makes it a lot more easier. All right. And in a dream, I'm going down the escalator. And then the dream shifts. I see us going down the escalator. Now, okay, you guys, I had to fix my video. Now, to explain the second scene of the dream. On the second scene of the dream, what God showed me was the place I went to was him. I was with him, and I didn't leave empty-handed. I left with a bike. The bike was my identity. Okay? The bike was my identity, but I got it from God. God was the only one who could have given it to me, right? Another big part of this dream, big part of this little scene right here, because I was like, why him? Why did you choose him to go with me? And the guy's name is Aaron, right? And so I looked up his name too, because, God is really doing something with the names lately. And I didn't used to look up the names in dreams until now. But so I looked up his name too, and his name means strong. It means mountain of strength, right? His name is Aaron. And it also means teacher. So God showed me that he didn't send me alone. He sent me with a mountain of strength, and he sent me with a teacher. Oh God. And then he also put in my spirit, he reminded me of Aaron that went with Moses as his helper, right? So what he reminded me of also in my natural life, you know, Lord, my hair's sticking up. What he also reminded me of was how what he's been doing with me naturally, he's been doing with a lot of y'all too. And like the instructions he's giving you and everything that you're facing in the spiritual warfare, he never sent you alone. Okay? You have strength with you. You have a mountain of strength. You have a teacher that he sent with you. You have an aid. You have a help. You just have to allow them to help you. God. You have to allow them to help you. Okay? Something he pointed out to me when, like I said, I had to wait for 3 people to pass to get off the escalator before I took my position. But I had to take my position. They weren't going to stop coming up the escalator to let me go. I had to take my position. People were constantly coming up. They were going up to God. They were going up to God. I had to take my position on that escalator. God says you have to take your identity. It is yours. It belongs to you. But he can't make you walk into it. He can't make you believe in who he created you to be. He's told you who you are. What you have to do is allow him to do the work and process in you to cleanse and remove and declutter and just everything that people have spoke over you, how they treated you, things they've actually said to you, they are lies. And God has been trying to show you those who lied to you. He separated you from those who lied to you about your identity, about your self-worth and value, about who you are. He has separated you from them intentionally so he could show you who you are, who he created you to be. Because every time he tries to speak life into you and every time he tries to show you, daughter, this is who you are. Son, this is who I made you to be. Every single time he tries to show you that, you had those people around you that were poking holes into you, that were telling you you were something else. Okay, so a lot of people, when he separated you from people, he did it because he's trying to show you who you are. Some of y'all have asked him, who am I? I don't even know who I am. Some of you have asked him who you are and for your purpose, you know, and what you're supposed to do while you're here. In this moment, this is what God was doing. When I left with my identity in hand. And sometimes that can seem overwhelming. So God showed me he didn't expect me to carry it on my own. The Holy Spirit had to tell me to let that man carry that bike for you. Why are you trying to carry that bike by yourself? He said, let that man carry that bike. So I got my identity from God. First and foremost, your identity comes from God, not from man. I retrieved my identity from God, and I didn't even have to carry it all by myself. Jesus. All right, that was just a big part, y'all. You're going to get your identity from God, and he does not expect you to carry it by yourself. He doesn't expect you to carry all that by yourself, okay? He sent me up there with a mountain of strength, with a teacher. God. Aaron means mountain of strength and teacher. And he referred to Moses' help in the Bible as, you know, Aaron is Moses' help too. So he sent you with a teacher. He's going to teach you and help you develop. If he showed you something that seems greater than you, and you're like, how do I become that? He's going to show you. God has been doing some deep cleanses with me, like helping me look back at things. You have to know when it's God and when it's the enemy. God has actually had me dig up some painful moments in my life. And I'm like, no, that's the enemy wanting me to think about that. But no, God wanted me to dig it up because I never dealt with it. And in those moments in my life, told me things about myself, made me think things about myself that weren't true. So he wanted me to dig those moments up so we could deal with it. And some of those moments might cause you to cry again, and you might not want to think about it, and you might not want to feel it, and you might not want to feel, because it's like experiencing all over again. But the only reason God may be leading you to dig it up, so you can deal with it, get rid of it, and remove the lie that it implanted in you, telling you that you were this, that you deserve that, and you didn't. Okay? So I'm trying not to make this video too long, you guys, but that part was so big. It was so big, right? So I got my identity from God, and I had help carrying it. You're going to find your identity through God. He's going to teach you. He's going to teach you. Don't even worry. He's going to teach you, and just go with it. Just go with it and pray and ask for his help and guidance. But he said in his dream, he already sent you with help. He's there. You just have to, first of all, you got to take your identity. I had to take my place on that escalator. I had to take my identity, right? The bike was with, the bike, God gave it to me, but I had to take my place. It's yours. It's yours. You just got to believe it, and you got to take it and accept it. Okay, so that's the part he showed me on that scene of the dream, y'all. I'm back looking at my notes. Okay, so the next scene of the dream, like we're going through the escalator, then next scene of the dream. Now the guy that I'm with, we're in his garage. And remember, he was carrying my bike for me. Now I just see a car. Oh man, I just see a car, and he's like kind of doing some work on the car, right? So it's going to grow. Oh, you're going to grow. You're going to grow. Okay. But anyway, so now he's working on the car. And I'm thinking we have to wait a little bit longer because it's still too early to get my items. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to wait inside. So I go to his door from his garage leading to his house. And I just walk right in there, right? And he's like, oh, no. This is not going to take long. And so he says, we're going to just wait in the garage. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I close this door, and then I'm low-key embarrassed because I just walk right in his house. That's his house. And I just walk right in. And so I can hear people's thoughts in my dream, right? A lot of times, most times, I can hear their thoughts and feel their feelings. And so he's thinking to himself, how did she even open my door? And I was like, because, okay, sometimes in my dreams I have powers, right? Like sometimes in my dreams I have powers. And I was like, oh God, I refer to it as magic. I said, did I use my powers to get in his door? And I was like, please don't ask me how I opened your door. Please don't ask me how I opened your door. So that's what I'm thinking. And so he doesn't ask. He just like, how did she get in my door? And then he just lets the thought go away, right? And then he goes back to working on the car, and I'm like, woo. And so, okay, that was that part of the scene of the dream, right? Now, God showed it to me like this. God is going to be continually working on you. So the first vehicle I had was a bike, and I got it from him. And he sent me off with help and with a teacher, right? And a continual guide, right? That was helping me then he was working on a car, right? It grew. It became something else, right? And then I walked right into this man's house with no key. Now, I've had dreams where I had a key and I saw myself unlock the door. This is how it happened. Okay, so you know how when you go to a door, like your front door, you have to take out your key, then unlock it on the outside. But on the inside, say you want to unlock your door from the inside, you just turn the knob. You don't need a key. You just turn the knob, right? And it unlocks. For me, and it's part of the dream, all doors did not work. They didn't have a keyhole on the outside. They had a knob. So I didn't need a key to open his door. I just turned the knob. The outside of his door, where you would normally see a keyhole, there was a knob, just a knob. So I just turned his knob and went in his door like it was nothing. And that's how I got in. But I realized in a dream, it didn't appear like that, to other people, just to me. And what God said is open door season. Oh God, what God showed me in this part of the dream was it's going to be open door season. Doors will be open for you easily. Easily. This man trying to figure out how I got in his house. I didn't need a key. All I had to do was turn the knob and I'm in there. All doors to me had knobs. They didn't have keyholes. They had knobs. Like, turn the knob, it's unlocked. God said, it's open door season from here on out. Right? So when I went to get my item, I wanted it. You know, when I first got there, it was too soon to get it. I had to go take care of some other things. Those things concerned me basically finding myself, figuring out who I was in God. He gave me a list of things to do. This is in the natural, right? As well as in a dream, right? I didn't know, and speaking from the natural, I didn't know how the things he gave me to do were going to help me to become who he created me to be. The things he's given you to do are part of your development. They're part of your development. And you may be like, God, I should be doing this or that right now. But no, do what he told you to do, because he is developing you in these things. And you may not be able to see it at the moment, but that's what he's doing. He's helping you find your identity, right? So after I got my identity and we worked on it a little bit, he didn't see me alone. I had a mountain of strength with me. I had a teacher. I had a guide with me, right? Yeah, so in the third scene of the dream, he showed me it was going to be open door season, and I would continue to grow in my growth and development and finding who I am in God. I would continue to grow in that. All right. And then the next scene of the dream, I appear in the home, the house, right? I'm just there. I'm not even, I'm just in there. And the house of the guy that I left my stuff in, right? And so I'm there to get my stuff. This guy is so grouchy. He is so grouchy. And I'm like, sorry, did I come too early? You want me to come back? Because he is so grouchy, that I came to get my stuff. And I'm like, did I come too early? And he's like, no, just get it. So he had an attitude, right? And I offered to come back and get it. And he was like, no, take it. Like, he knew I had to take it. He knew I couldn't leave it there with him. He knew it. And so when I offered to come back, he stopped me and he's like, no, you got to take it. Just take it. And so I'm like, okay. So I took my item and then I was about to leave. And when I was turning to leave, all I saw was the color yellow. Okay, you guys. So, oh God, this is the first time in my dream that I just saw a color, right? Just color. And when I retrieved my item from the man's house, I was walking into yellow. I was walking towards the color yellow. Okay. Okay, so what God showed me here, of course, I got my stuff back from the enemy, and it's part of the dream, but with the color yellow. So the day before I had this dream, I, like in the natural, I had dropped my daughter off at school that morning, and on the way home, I saw a yellow belly bird. I don't know if that's what you call it, but it was a bird with a yellow belly, and it was so beautiful. And I'd never seen one like that before. And so I'm driving through the neighborhood, I'm turning, and it's just sitting in the middle of the street. This is in real life, y'all. It's just sitting in the middle of the street, and I'm like, because it has a yellow belly, and it starts to slowly fly above my car. And I was like, oh my God, does it have a yellow belly? And it was a yellow belly bird. It had a yellow belly, and it was so beautiful. I'm not even into like birds like that necessarily, but it was so beautiful. I'd never seen one before like that. And I was like, oh my God, Dad. I'm talking to Daddy. I'm like, it's a yellow belly bird. And I was like, that is so beautiful. And it made my morning. But the way it was standing in front of my car when I turned, and the way how it flew away so lightly and slowly to where I could get a good look at it, it just, how something just hits you in the spirit, like God is trying to say something to you. So I saw that morning, and I was like, oh my God. I was just smiling. And then later that same day, so I had family in town, and y'all, I know I told y'all I'll make books. I still got to do a book video, right? So I'll make books, right? And I asked my uncle, I was like, Uncle, what's your favorite color? Because I wanted to make him his favorite color book. And he said, yellow. And so it stood out again because I just saw that yellow, belly bird early that morning. So second time that day, I said, yellow, huh? Because I didn't expect him to say yellow was his favorite color. He's like, yeah, yellow. I was like, okay. I took note, for me to make his book, but I'm taking note in the spirit too. Yellow. Then that same night, that's when I had this dream, right? And me walking into yellow, right? So I had to look up the color yellow. And when I looked it up, like in Dreams in the Natural, it talked about the sun and the sun producing a rich harvest. What stood out to me was the rich harvest, right? After all this, after you get your identity in God and find out, it's just you're obeying Him. Obedience is so important and mandatory, okay? And so as you find your identity through God in a process, and when you go, it's going to be open door season after that, and you retrieve your stuff, you're going to be walking into a rich harvest. After I retrieved my item, I was walking into a rich harvest. That's what it said, just me looking up the color yellow, right, in dreams. Then I looked up the biblical meaning, and it said glory of God. Oh my God, you guys. It said glory of God. Y'all, on May the 6th, okay, I another video I did saying, I know God knows you're tired and you're going through a transition. If you listen to that video, and I was talking about what was on the other door was celebrating the victory and celebration, God gave me a dream on May the 6th where He let me go on the other side of that door, and I was just surrounded by His glory. It was the most amazing dream I ever had, and when I woke up, I felt it felt like nothing I ever experienced, and I was just like, oh my God. And so I'm mentioning that dream because once I got my stuff and I was walking into that yellow, that's what I sensed coming from the yellow. And when I looked it up, it said yellow. It means the glory of God, y'all. The glory of God. So anyways, y'all, that was the dream. I'm going to try not to keep y'all too long, but God wanted me to go ahead and share it. He said it's time to share this dream. The time is now. It's in season. He said things are about to escalate. Do you know who you are? You need to be ready for this. And if I'm going through the process right now, and I had to learn not to fight it. Like I said, when God was having me bring up old bad memories, I didn't want to think about them. I thought that was the enemy trying to make me sad, but it was really God trying to heal me and remove the lies that were told to me, through different people that they allowed the enemy to use them. Remember, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but the enemy has been using a lot of people in your life to tell you things about yourself that aren't true. So you could believe what he wants you to believe about yourself, and God wants to remove those lies. So anyways, you guys, that was the dream. I hope it blessed somebody. I hope y'all excited like I'm excited. So these are the steps and process. You may have wanted your stuff a little bit early. God said you need to find out who you are in Him first, and following His instructions will help you to find that out. And once you begin to grasp and claim who you are, stop running from it. Who God created you to be, stop running from that. That's who you are, and you are that valuable, and you are that beautiful. That is who you are. Okay? Stop running from it. Once you walk into that and you claim that, it's going to be open, and you do everything He told you to do. Now, obedience brings the reward. It's going to be open door season. Like I said, He's letting some people through either way, but that some people have done enough. You still have more instructions, but you've done enough to satisfy the promise. Where some, they haven't done enough. And they got to do that work, because that work is going to further develop them. And it's going to set the stage for oh God, you're doing this for yourself. That this is going to help you. And you might not see it yet, but you got to start doing it, and you will see it with time. You got to trust God to know He wants only good things for you. Okay? So, but I'm going to go, y'all. So this is going to be super long, but things are about to escalate. God says, do you know who you are? Ask Him and He will show you. He will show you. He will show you. Okay, I'm about to go, y'all. I hope this blessed somebody. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be blessed. I have another dream I'm going to share soon as He tell me to. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed.